hello everyone, and welcome to ProLine. It's football season again. I'm John Cranton in Las Vegas, joined by professional Vegas handicappers Hollis, Harvard, Barnhart, and Zach Simony. Going to take a look at a pair of Week 1 college football showdowns this weekend, including a Big Ten SEC matchup, as well as NFL Week 1, the opening game between the Steelers and Patriots. First, let's tell you about how you can get involved with some of these professional handicappers. We had last year a handicapper 3-pack attack. You get 3 plays from Hollis, Zach, and Jim Feist. And Hollis, you have a play available for that pack as well for this weekend.
Yeah, I do. My play goes Saturday. It's going to be a very big play. I love to start off when I think the odds makers have missed right off from the start. Big college game, be on TV, NBC's carrying it, so it's a great way to get the year kicked off for you. And I'll tell you what, when you look at us three right here, we're, hey, we're not going to sit here and brag. We put our picks up front, so we don't have to do that. The numbers fall where they may. But last year, out of 16 weeks, we won 12 weeks, so we were either 2-1 or 3-0, 12 of the 16 weeks. Nothing but making money there. That's 75% because you're getting my best play, Zach's best play, and the best play from Jim Feist by the way of John. So if you want to hit 75%, not just of a, here's 4 games, I'm going to win 3 and 1. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about 3-game packages every single week for the next 16 weeks. We had winning weeks 12 out of the 16 weeks. 75%. What do you,
Yeah, that's right. Hollis, for preseason, you had a 9-5 record. You went 3-1 with those 10-star plays, and one of those is going to be in this week's pack.
In fact, there it is again. 3-1, 75%. I think I'm stuck on that number. It sounds like, but
it's a good number.
Hey, 3-1 on 10 stars. You know what? I really do. I just aim and fire at one of the biggest plays I can find, and then yes, I want to put in my second and third best play. You can play those the same amount, or you can key the 10-star play with maybe make two-team parlays. I usually don't recommend that. Or if you're a dime player, you might pay a dime on the 10-star play and put a nickel on the other 2.
All right, you can find that handicapper 3-pack attack at jimfeist.com. It'll be up $49 during the week. It'll be for Saturday college football games and some NFL games. You get 3 plays in 1 pack from Zach, Hollis, and Jim Feist. Jim has certainly enjoyed the NFL preseason 14-5 start. He hit his NFL preseason game of the year Saturday. That was the Philadelphia Eagles rolling up a 25-0 first quarter lead on the way to a blowout win. So he cashed on that. He's had a terrific preseason. And you can go find all the plays and more from everybody at jimfeist.com. Now let's take a look at a college football game going on Saturday. You got Wisconsin playing Alabama. This game will be at a neutral field in Arlington, Texas. The opening number was 9.5 on Bama. It's now up to 10.5, and the total has come down to 50.5 when we see approximately 74% of the early money coming in on Bama. They like the big name team here. And here we have a Wisconsin team that was 11-3 last year, but there actually are changes afoot for the Badgers. They got a new head coach in Paul-Ghryst. He comes back to Madison after a 3-year stint as Pittsburgh's head coach. But he inherits a very talented team. This was averaged 34.6 points per game last year on offense with terrific power running game. Quarterback Joel Stave is back. He's a senior. Not a great year last year, 9 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, but 2 years ago he was also the starter, had a 22-13 touchdown to interception ratio. And then there's running back Corey Clement, who's a junior. He had a great year last year, 949 yards, 6.5 yards per carry, but nobody remembers him because he was playing second fiddle to Melvin Gordon, who put up some incredible numbers. So it's a very talented offense. Plus, you got a top defensive team coming back, one of the best in the country last year, Hollis. And, odds makers, despite all this talent, odds makers wonder if they're not giving Wisconsin enough respect at all.
Well, it's not about respect. First of all, the Big Ten versus the SEC, when you start talking about they had one of the best defenses in the country last year, well, those stats were all against the the Iowas and the Michigan States and Minnesota and Penn State. I mean, just the average teams and stuff like that. They padded the books a little bit. The new coach, I don't ever like the new coach in the first game of the year. I don't think the quarterback, Stave, like you said, 9 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, that's not going to cut it. Losing Melvin Gordon, He's probably glad he doesn't have to play in this game because you're not going to run against the best defensive front seven in all of football. They only have 6 starters returning on offense, and they're going to have to throw to score because, like I said, you can't run on them. Another thing is Saban, this guy's pretty cool. He's got 3 quarterbacks. He's not sure which one he's going to use. I believe he's going to use Jake Coker. But, he's forcing Wisconsin to prepare 3 different defenses for all 3 quarterbacks because he's not announcing what he's going to do. They have Derrick Henry back. He was rushing for just about 6 yards per carry in the SEC. They have the number 1 5-star recruit wide receiver in Cameron Ridley, and I really think that Coker to Ridley, you're going to hear that quite a bit. He's a transfer quarterback from Florida State, pro style, and he's going to fit right in there. But one of the things that just comes off the charts is talking about controlling the situation while they're on the field. They have the best punter, and we're talking about Bama there with J.K. Scott. This guy he was the number 1 punter last year. He averaged 48 yards per kick. His punting stats would have led the NFL. Not only did he lead all of college, he would have led all the NFL. He had, and get this, in the entire season, he was just a freshman, in the entire season, the opposing team only had 83 return yards. So here's a guy that completely can change the complexion of a game. So I'm going to not even have to stick my neck out. I just think it's going to be a solid, in the trenches. You can't run against Bama's up front, so they're going to force to throw in order to score. And I just don't think the new coach is going to have that play with the Wisconsin quarterback, Joel Stave. I think he's going to pad the interceptions, and Alabama walks out of a neutral site. They're playing in Texas. I think they will walk out with an easy win, so let's lay the 10.
Well, that's a good point about the Alabama punter there, because we often overlook special teams when analyzing these games. Special teams are so essential and can be the difference maker, even punting. A guy like Bill Belichick, he has his starters playing on the special teams, and he gets criticized at times when starters get injured, but he understands the value of it. And you mentioned Bama has a terrific punter. That's an often overlooked part of the game. This Bama team last year was so good they got to the Final Four in college football and were rolling along until Ohio State got in the way. The big story, as you mentioned, is the Florida State transfer at quarterback, senior Jake Coker, 403 yards, 4 touchdowns and no picks last year. He's a good fit for this pro-style attack that they run. So, Zach, they're going to have to be on their game out of the gate because they're not going to be facing any cupcakes here in week 1 in September.
Exactly. I'm also siding with Hollis here with Alabama. 10.5 is the spread we're looking at currently. And you said it. Yeah, they lost to Ohio State. The year before that, they lost to Oklahoma. So this team has not done as well as odds makers would have liked outside the SEC, besides that Notre Dame game a couple of years back. But you look at Alabama compared to this Wisconsin team. This is Wisconsin's in transition yet again with a new head coach. They do have great running backs. There's no doubt about that. But that's one of the strengths with Alabama's defense. I know they've been thrown on a lot over the years, but the SEC has been a very, very good conference for quarterbacks and wide receiver talent. Wisconsin does not have that. They don't even beat Big Ten teams with that type of strength. So Alabama's going to be able to have a great game plan defensively, limit the run game, and I send safety blitzes, send whatever you can, send disguises to force Stav to make some ill-advised throws, which he's been shown to do. And you play Alabama. I don't think it'll start right out the gate. It's not going to be a stampede win for Alabama. It might be a first, second quarter game that's neck and neck, but second halves are when good teams like Alabama start to pull away, and I think you can see 2-3 touchdowns at the end of the game that convert that point spread win for Alabama.
All right, so you're both taking Alabama in, like a 23-10 kind of game? One-sided?
Yeah, maybe 30-something to 14, something like that, yeah.
Maybe 30-10.
Okay.
There we go.
Something like that. Around, I do believe that it's going to be under 45 points. So, 30-10 in that area,
Okay, well, I'll lean toward the total in this one because there's an old wagering adage in Las Vegas, and that is defenses are ahead of the offenses in September. I can see that in this one when I look at the matchups. Wisconsin, 17th in the nation last year in points allowed. Excellent linebackers in secondary coming back, but I don't trust Joel Stave, who has been erratic in his career, and he's going to have to carry the offense more without Melvin Gordon. But then Alabama's defense, look at them the last 3 years. They were number 1 in points allowed in 2012, number 4 in 2013, and then number 6 last year, giving up 18.4 points per game. For this season, Nick Saban has the front 7 absolutely loaded, one of the best defensive teams in the country. I see that Alabama's on a 5-12 and spread run, so I will stick to the total here, and I say a defensive game under the total.